Cherie says, this is why people get deleted. Okay. D says, I use my trucker nickname a little bit. I know you do, D. That is your code name, a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, it's that time. We've covered a lot tonight. We talked about, of course, we're not done yet, but disc golf, the Miami Conda collapse, the diet. Haven't really been playing a lot of music recently because I was out of town, very busy. Did the poll stuff, all this stuff. So now I am ready to reveal the episode that we're going to pull out of the archives, in which the original opening and interview and everything will play, but then I will add new commentary at the end. I think you know how that works now. I don't do a lot of them, but it's usually the same thing. We let the regular interview play, but the summation at the end is changed to be updated to the present. Of course, there will be new Unfound news and all that. But on Friday, we are going to revisit, and I think this is appropriate, since it was just over 3 years ago that this episode came out. It came out in June of 2018. We're going to revisit the disappearance of Tom Brown. You heard it here first. I told my assistants that I was going to do this, and I think Carrie, who is one of the moderators in the group, says, oh, great. So what is going to happen is that there will be a new introduction before the music, so everybody understands that this is a kind of a replay. The original opening, the original summary of the case. Louise, good night to you. Good seeing you. Thank you over there in the UK. So it will be a new introduction, same theme, same summary of the case that was recorded back in 2018. Of course, new Unfound news updated to what's going on now. The original interview will play with Penny. And then there will be new commentary. Then I've already recorded it. I did it before the show started tonight. And it's a lot of long commentary because I go through everything, the major points that have gone on with Tom's disappearance and all the other tangential things since we covered that in the summer of 2018. So that's the decision I made. When this interview fell through, I was thinking, well, what can I do? Which one are we going to revisit? And I was like, you know what? It was approximately 3 years ago, June 15th, 2018, technically, that episode came out. So maybe it's time to revisit it. And given especially that there's supposed to be a grand jury that's going to be convened, or maybe it already has sometime this year. This was also interesting for me because I remember that time when that episode came out. I actually wasn't even here. I was in Hilton Head, South Carolina, seeing my parents. And if you remember, I did that interview on that radio station with that radio host in Texas. And I did that while in South Carolina. I wasn't here. And the episode came out while I was there. And it was a big deal. And, it is a moment in history for me because really that was the last vacation my parents took before my mother really started going downhill. I remember it being a really great time, all three of us being together. Them being excited about me being interviewed, about Tom's disappearance, about the video. I can remember them showing them the video, the security video, and explaining that, all of that to my parents and, and everything. So that was going on at the time. So it was reliving a moment in my life on top of everything else. That was what was going on in my life at that time. And I know it's a time that's never going to happen again. So I talk a little bit about that. So that will be this Friday. We will revisit the disappearance of Tom Brown. And It was a long one. That interview was long, but my commentary this time around is longer than first because, once again, I go through a lot of things and have some comments to make about all of it. Eileen says, brace yourselves in the Facebook group. Yes. Good night, Louise. K-Dog, what was the video we were supposed to look up on that disc golfer? I forgot. James Conrad is his name. Just look up James Conrad disc golf, K-Dog, and you will find it. Sheree says, maybe Pine Gregory wants to contribute. Well, I do talk about him, and I say, we still hold out the idea. I still hold out hope that we could do an official interview with him. I would love to do that. I'm still open to it. Sheree has all the jokes. She does have all the jokes. Sheree says, that really was a memorable moment for all of us at Unfound. It surely was, Sheree. Yeah. So Sheree says, Puma, talking to Puma, Pine has very little to say, honestly. Well, Sheree, I guess in general, you're right about that. The truth is that I think he and Nathan Lewis are still close, even though one resigned, one got fired, and it even could be said that Pine got fired because of Nathan, whatever, we get into all that. But I think that's one of the reasons, Sheree, but surely he has a lot to say. He just doesn't want to say it. Puma says Pine knows more. He knows more of these things. Maybe. So that will be Friday. We're going to revisit the disappearance of Tom Brown with new commentary at the end. And what that also means to all you think tank members is we will now get to talk about Tom Brown's disappearance in the think tank, but you're going to have to wait till Monday because July 4th is Sunday. So Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, you better be there. This will be your one and only chance to talk about the think tank, about Tom Brown in the think tank. So Marlene's sounds like looks like she's getting out. D's getting out. You're welcome, K-Dog. So that means I'm going to get out too. Been a great show. Disc golf, Miami condo collapse, diet, music, Cirques poll, interview fall through, Unfound Now, Troy Galloway, newsletters, season 2, volume 2, season 2, volume 3, Robin Abrams, FOIA for that case, Vanessa Oren. Took a lot of questions from the group, from the chat. And then finally, we're going back to Tom Brown. We're going back to Canadian Texas, Hemphill County on Friday. And FCS, as Sheree is reminding everybody, keep your head on a swivel. All right. Good night, everyone. Great talking to you. Thank you. I love doing this live show. I don't know why more